Hello, I welcome to UPSC Prelims Chaturya series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy, where we will discuss the daily prelims MCQs from the Hindu, Indian Express and PIB. Let's begin. The first question. Consider the following statements with respect to Consumer Price Index. CPI is calculated for only goods. CPI is published by the Office of the Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. CPI is released on a monthly basis. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. Recently, India's retail inflation is to a 3-month low of 5.1%. About retail inflation is also known as Consumer Price Index inflation that tracks the changes in retail prices of goods and services which households purchase for their daily consumption. CPI is calculated for a fixed basket of goods and services that may or may not be altered by the government from time to time. The change in the price index over a period of time is referred to as a CPI-based inflation or a retail inflation. What does the CPI tell? Following are a few things that the CPI indexes interprets. Cost of living, the purchasing power of the consumers, and the expensiveness of different articles that consumers buy and services that are availed. Value of the Indian rupee. How is CPI calculated? CPI is calculated for both goods and services. CPI is calculated as a percentage. It is comparison of the general price level in the markets in a particular time period from a time frame in the past. This is known as the base year. CPI, therefore, is calculated by referring to a base year, which is benchmark. Currently, the base year is 2012. The National Statistical Office, Ministry of Statistics and the Program Implementation compiles all India as well as state-wise CPI for rural, urban, combined sectors and releases the CPI numbers every month. How is the consumer price index used? It is used as a macroeconomic indicator of inflation, as a tool by the central bank and the government for inflation targeting and for inspecting price stability and as a deflator in the national accounts. CPI also helps understand the real value of salaries, wages and pensions, the purchasing power of the nation's currency and the regulating rates. So the answer is only one because CPI is calculated for both goods and services. Not only goods. And the CPI is published by the National Statistic Office, not Office of the Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Moving to the next question. With reference to the Convention on the Conservation of Migratory Species, consider the following statements. It is commonly known as Convention on Migratory Species or Stockholm Convention. It aims to conserve only terrestrial and avian migratory species throughout their range. Which of the statements given above are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. This was in news recently, the 14th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Convention on the Conservation Migratory Species of Wild Animals will be hosted by the government of Uzbekistan in Samarkand from 12th to 17th February 2024. About this convention, it also known as the Bonn Convention, is an environmental treaty under the aegis of the United Nations Environment Program. It also provides a global platform for the conservation and sustainable use of migratory animals and their habitats. It was signed in Bonn, Germany on 23rd June 1979. It is the only global and UN-based intergovernmental organization established exclusively for the conservation and management of terrestrial, aquatic, and avian migratory species throughout their range. The parties to the convention acknowledged the importance of conserving the migratory species and the need to pay special attention to the species whose conservation status is unfavorable. Activities by these EMS parties may range from legally binding treaties called agreements to less formal instruments such as a memoranda of understanding. The Conference of Parties is the decision-making organ of this convention. It has two appendices. Appendix 1 lists the endangered migratory species and includes the prohibition regarding the take of these species. Appendix 2 lists the species that have an unfavorable conservation status as per the conditions set out in the convention and encourages range states to draft range-wide agreements for conservation and the management of these species. So the answer is neither one nor two, because it is commonly known as Convention on Migratory Species or Bonn Convention, not Stockholm Convention. It aims to conserve terrestrial and aquatic and avian migratory species throughout their range, not only terrestrial and avian migratory species. Moving to the next question. What is Cuscuta dodder? Recently in the news. Option A, butterfly. Option B, spider. Option C, invasive weed. Option D, fish. Cast thousands of tendrils to form a dense spectacle before it strangles and eventually kills it. As per a technical paper published by the National Research Center for Weed Science in India, Cuscuta poses a serious problem in oilseeds, pulses, and fodder crops in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Orissa, West Bengal, and parts of Madhya Pradesh under the rain-fed as well as irrigated conditions. Legislation in 25 countries has listed the dodder as declared noxious weed with seeds and plant material denied entrance. In United States, it is the only weed seed whose movement is prohibited in every state. The seeds of Cuscuta are spheroid and have a hard coat which aids them to survive up to 50 years in dry storage and at least 10 years in the field. Unlike root parasites, Cuscuta seeds do not require a specific stimulant to induce the germination. So the answer is invasive weed. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statements about eJagriti portal. It is an initiative of the Department of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. It provides a simple, fast, and more cost-effective consumer dispute redressal software solution at all levels. Which of the statements given above are not correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one or two. Consumer Affairs Secretary recently asserted that integration of artificial intelligence in eJagriti portal will help reduce the number of pending cases in consumer courts. About this portal, it is an initiative of the Department of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. It is a portal for consumer commissions. This portal has been designed to further improve the customer experience. It provides a simple, fast, and more cost-effective consumer dispute redressal software solution at all levels. It is envisaged to integrate consumer grievances platforms, namely online case monitoring system, e-Dakhil, the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission case monitoring system, and Confed website mediation application on a single platform. The e-Jagriti platform has case filing, online fee payment, case monitoring modules for seamless disposal of cases by all the commission, has smart search facility and achieved consumer complaint cases judgment using AI technology for metadata and keyword creation and voice to text convention of judgment, case history and other details using AI technology. The portal will integrate virtual court facility for convenient and accessible resolution of consumer complaint, reducing the time of disposal, multiple hearings, and physical court appearance, bringing effective and fast decision disposal on all consumer commissions. So the answer is neither one or two because both statements given above are correct. Moving to the next question. Choose correct statements with respect to the Swachhata green leaf rating. The objective is to prevent pollution in water bodies and keep the environment clean. It was a government initiative rating system for residential complexes. It was launched by the Union Tourism Ministry in collaboration with the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. Swachhata green leaf rating system for hospital sector is yet to take off as there has been no response from states despite the Union Tourism Ministry sending three communiques so far. About this Swachhata green leaf rating, government initiative rating system for the hospitality sector, which aims to ensure world-class hygiene and sanitation in hotels, resort and homestays has become a non-starter with no state opting for it as of now. The main objective of this to prevent pollution in water bodies and keep the environment clean. The targeted group of these Swachhata green leaf rating are hotels, lodges, homestays, and dharmashalas and camps which have a portable toilets. The rating will be based on the compliance with the safe sanitation practices outlined in the guidelines. The ranking scheme was launched in November 2023 by the Union Tourism Ministry in collaboration with the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. As a part of the initiative, the state teams of Swachh Bharat Mission, Gramin, and the tourism department will organize the workshops on the concept, process, and desired outcomes for the stakeholders. The implementation, a three-tiered committee system has been proposed for implementation, beginning with a verification of subcommittee formed by the subdivisional magistrate for the on-ground verification, followed by the district committee, which the district collector will chair, and then state level committee headed by the chief secretary of the state. So the answer is only two because it was a government initiative rating system for hospitality sector. Thank you. This is the today session.